It's time for Coffee on the Coast. Good afternoon and welcome to this episode of Coffee on the Coast. I'm your host today, Tina Prigge. We've got a good news episode for you. I've got Mr. Chris Abel with us today, also possibly joined by Sunny and Butch. If you see some of the world's cutest dogs pop in, you'll know what to call them. And Mr. Abel, we are talking about fine-free Fridays at the Manitowoc Public Library. Tell us more.
Oh, absolutely. As the president of the library board, I have noticed that the topic of going fine-free across the boards has come up several times, and it's understandable why people would want that. It's also understandable why some people would be thinking, well, you have to have some accountability. So, and there's the reality that we actually have a budgetary line. As a board, we do have a fiduciary duty, and so there's a budgetary line of revenue that comes in from fines. It never equals what we make it on the line, but there is one. So I thought what would be a nice balance would be, what if we made Fridays fine-free? Talk to the managers. Managers are all on board with this idea. And so now we've set it up so that if you bring your materials back on Friday, they go fine-free. All you have to do is return them. You don't have to go up and say, I'm turning them in on fine-free Friday. You can drop them in the slot outside. You can drop them in the slot inside. You turn them in on Friday. We figured out a way to automate it so that the fines are wiped out on overdues on that Friday.
So what about like the book somebody's had for 10 years and it's accumulated all these fines?
Well, now if you have moved beyond simply overdue status to, believe it or not, there are different statuses. There's overdue, there's long overdue, and there reaches a point where they're actually billing you for the material. You should come and talk to us at the service desk so we can find a solution for you. But if it's simply an overdue status, you just drop it off and we will return it to the shelves, and there's no overdue to you. The big goal for us at the library, obviously, is we want to get those materials back in so we can get them back out to the next person. Our whole hope here is that more people get access to more material by doing fine-free Fridays from now on.
And this is great news, because if you do have some items that you're holding that possibly have a fine because they're overdue, now there is Fine-Free Friday. When does this start, Mr. Abel? Is this like as soon as this week, Friday?
Well, our goal was to start it in February. We tested it last Friday without announcing it to make sure it would work, and it works fine. So if someone returned their materials last Friday with fines on them, they're going to be surprised to find out that they don't have any overdues. But it officially starts with February, but it absolutely is going to be there from now on. Personally, I'm hopeful that as we do this, we'll be able to show that the fine-free approach is returning so much material, we can look at establishing it beyond just Fridays. But I think Fridays is a good beginning step for us.
Now, and so you're looking at this going on and on. It's not just Fridays in February. You're looking at this being okay.
We're starting it in February because, school teachers, we like alliteration. So we have fine-free Friday. Whoa, let me try it one more time. Fine-free Fridays starting in February.
Perfect. As a marketer, we love that too. That sounds great.
Unless it's the letter F, because I stumble over it. So much for that part of the idea.
Then it's a whole different F kind of alliteration, but we'll skip that. This is important because this is an actual schedule of fines, overdue fines at the Manitowoc Public Library. And for some of the different items, they can add up kind of quickly. So if you've got a DVD that's accumulating at $1 a day overdue, or a Wi-Fi hotspot is $1 a day overdue. So all of these things, if you return them to the Manitowoc Public Library, starting on these fine-free Fridays, it's fine-free, which is pretty fine.
Excellent. Well done, you. Now, I would point out there are some people probably one of the two people on this cast itself that when they have overdues, they're like, oh yeah, and then they put them in the car, and then they wait until the next time they get to the library, and then when they go in to pay their overdues, and I'm not thinking that it's you, since I am so aware of how this goes, they go, it's how much? And when that happens, we really thought our real goal is to get people to bring the stuff back. So if we can make it an easy thing to do weekly, we can really improve the turnover of materials for everybody that's waiting for them.
Right. And
Because
nobody wants the library experience to be painful. You want people to have access to that knowledge. And if they're just, feeling that pain because, shoot, now I owe 20 cents, 80 cents, whatever it is, bring it back on a Friday, it's wiped clear, and you're free to check things out again.
yeah, our big goal is for you to use the library. And if you have fines and you're like, well, I can't use the library, that's like the worst situation for us, because our goal is information for everybody. Information and entertainment that we have there for folks right there. We want to keep your mind lively. And if having two books out is standing in the way of you keeping your mind active and engaged, and older guys like me, we really want to keep our minds active and engaged. So we're trying to do everything we can to grant greater access to everybody. Another part for us is, young families, even a few fines can really be a difficult financial burden on them. And our goal is not for the library to be a financial burden. The whole point of fines is just to make sure people return the material so someone else can use it.
Right. We want you to be like this guy, checking out plenty of materials so that you're staying in
them on time.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
returning them. That guy, he drives around with them in his car. I don't know about that.
Right. It happens that you have the best intentions. You pack them into the back seat, planning to get to the library, and suddenly it's February. Suddenly a whole month has gone by, and there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So, folks, Fine-Free Fridays are now available to you at the Manitowoc Public Library. Bring back your materials, no questions asked, and they'll be checked in fine-free. And this fine message is brought to you by what did you say? You're the president of the library board?
Yeah, Library Board of Trustees.
Okay, awesome. And that is Mr. Chris Abel. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing this great news.
Well, thank you for helping spread the word. Always great to talk to you. Hope everybody gets even more use out of our fantastic library.
You said it. I couldn't agree more. Thank you for joining us on Coffee on the Coast. We'll see you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.